here's a good one. Here's a really good one that I gotta answer. How do you feel about your genmates, the other members of Nijisanji 11th Wave, Nijisanji EN 11th Wave, by the beat? I love every single one of them very, very much. And you know what? I love them all so much, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about every single one of them individually. So Sable's first. Something I really, really love about Sable is that he has a very enterprising mind. You know, he's a very individual thinker. He's got a lot of big ideas and plans for how to make those ideas happen. Honestly, he's going to be a monster. You're not ready for Sable. He's very, very clever. He's very, very inventive, very creative, and I really, really admire that about him. I also love how compassionate he is. This is a really big one for me. I think Frio mentioned during his debut that we actually did, in fact, go to Japan together before debut. We spent a week in Japan. Tragically, I think this happened to Clara Senpai when Denoth went to Japan, but similarly enough, if that is the case, if I'm remembering correctly, I fell ill day one. I got sick, and I spent half of the trip, more than half of the trip, quarantined in a hotel room. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck in my room. It was so sad. It was the most tragic timing ever. And the same day, I didn't even say anything to the others yet. I had only spoken to staff about it. I was like, hey, I'm really sick and I'm very sorry, but I can't do anything anymore. What do I do? What do we do? How do we fix this? I didn't say anything to them. I don't think I even sent it in a channel where they could have seen it, but they weren't pinged. They would have had to look for it. Same day, Sable had prepared like this care package of food and drinks and something that really stuck with me. He went out of his way to get me a box of Darjeeling tea and a container of honey. And the reason that stuck with me is because months prior, when we were in training, just getting to know each other, I told him that when I'm sick, I really like to drink tea with honey and that it makes me feel better just because that's what my mom would give me when I was little. And he remembered that. And it just really stuck with me. He's very, very sweet. And even after that, the whole trip, he was very dedicated to like checking on me and making sure I was okay. And he would give me updates on what they did that day so I didn't feel left out. He's such a sweetheart. I love Sable. He's so good.
And then Sable. Sable's kind of like an enigma. Sometimes you don't know what he's thinking. But in the end, he's always extremely kind. He's very considerate. Sometimes he'll like notice things that perhaps you might think people are not noticing. He's very gentle. Especially, I noticed this in Japan. He was always opening doors for people. He was always like letting people take the seat in the train. He was always guiding people around. It was very helpful. It was very nice. And not just to us, he was very nice to every staff member. I mean, we all have been extremely grateful to staff, so there's no reason to be mean, but it was very nice getting to know each other. I think after the Japan trip, we really bonded and are really comfortable. Why are you still watching?
That reminds me, oh my gosh, did Kaelix tell you? Maybe I can tell the story. We did like a group watch along of Overture and we were crying. We were like sobbing. me and the other members of By the Beat, we were like, oh, Overture is so cool. Oh, Ian, so cool. Oh. Don't out us like this. Sorry, Sable, but you know, it was so emotional. But it also gave me such strong drive. I was like, I want to do something like this someday. I really, really want to be on a stage. And I think it would be even cooler if I could be on a stage with By the Beat. I'm quite fond of these guys.
Like, everyone is so amazing. Like, everyone is so kind. Everyone is so cool. And everyone is so amazing. And you guys, not just because, like, my job is the promoter of the live house or anything. Like, I need you to know just how cool and amazing and great and talented everyone is. Please understand me. Like, I'm just so, like, I feel like, you know, oh my god, like, I'm just so grateful for Nijisanji to bring us together. And I wake up every morning just so thankful that I have the opportunity to hang out with, you know, Kei-chan and Gin-chan and Furi-chan, you know, and it's crazy. They are so cool. They are so cool. Kind of elaborating on Kei-chan, like, Kei-chan's always been so considerate about, like, everyone else too. And like, Kei-chan is locked in. Kei-chan's always, you know, very like, just, oh my god. Ginja's so good. Like, so... He's singing is so good too. I aspire. I aspire.
Kaelix, I would say, is like the golden retriever of the group. I've never seen him sad. He always takes every situation in a positive turn and tries to cheer everyone up. He was the one that was always like looking forward to speak to us the most when we were getting to know each other. He like wanted to get every opportunity to get to know each other. And I think that's adorable of him.
Next up in the debut order, we have Frio, Mr. Freodore. Freodore. Something I really love about him is that he's very, very considerate. He's very mindful. He's the most mindful of us all, ironically enough. I know I've made that like a tagline of sorts for me, but he thinks about every single thing in any situation. He's the first one to come up with like, oh, wait, I think this could be better. Or like, oh, wait, wouldn't this be a problem? And I really, really, really appreciate that because I find that whenever I'm in a real-time like planning situation, for example, like we need to plan this collab or figure out this event or figure out the schedule for this, I'm always fine with everything when the meeting is happening. And then after the meeting's over, it's like I've got 10 billion questions that I forgot to ask because I didn't know about them yet. And I'm like, oh, wait, I should have said this. Frio says it on the spot every single time. Like he's always the first person to raise his hand. And I love that very, very much about him. It's helped me a lot so far. And that also extends to him just interpersonally, like in our just friendship, because he's very mindful of like, oh, would you mind this? Or would this be okay to do? I think this would be good for us because X, Y, and Z. And I just really, really appreciate that he's so thoughtful, you know? Because I don't know, I especially appreciate it as someone who's, for better or worse, I can be a bit thoughtless sometimes. Things just slip right past me. It's like in one ear and out the other, and I just totally forget everything. So I really, really love and appreciate and admire anybody who is like the direct opposite. And I feel very like complimented by that, you know, complimented in the sense of like having a matching pair that works with each other's abilities. So I feel like he really makes up for my weaknesses in that way. Simultaneously, I also really admire his vocal abilities and his mixing abilities. I want to be half as cool as him, especially with mixing.
Furi-chan, did you see the rap? Oh my god, you guys, the rap for Furi-chan? The trilingual rap, that was so yabai.
These guys are great. These guys are all so good. I'm really fortunate to be in like a group that I mesh so well with. Before I joined By the Beat, I knew I wanted to, you know, join kind of a group to, you know, rejoin the music industry and, you know, try new things. But I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't mesh well with everyone, you know, and I was kind of ready to accept that. I was like, that's how it could be, right? That's sometimes how things go. But the day that I met everyone, I immediately was like, oh, I'm ride or die for these guys.
And then, of course, last but not least, we have Ji-san. We have Mr. Zeal Ginjoka. I really, really love that guy. He is very... Oh, there's so much to say about him, especially. I feel like I really clicked with him early on. I think we have a lot of interests in common, especially. We like a lot of the same cozy games, for example, so I really look forward to the chance to play some with him in the future. And he's very, very, he's very sweet in the sense that, like, if something troubles me and I don't say anything because I don't know yet that it's really troubling me, he's the one to reach out and be like, hey, how'd you feel about this? And I'm like, oh, actually, I didn't really like that. He's like, yeah, I had a feeling. How do you want to fix this, right? And I don't know, I really appreciate that about him. He's very, very, like... proactive is the word I'd use. He's very proactive. That's the best word. He's proactive in reaching out and making sure that everything's cool. And he's similarly to Frio, he's very considerate of things, right? Likewise, I also really, really respect and admire his talents, his skills as a musician. I'm honestly floored. I feel like I won the lottery big time to be here with him. Gotta work like 10 times harder to keep up, honestly. I just think he's so legendary. I admire Zeal so much. He is a cherished member of By the Beat for me.
Zeal's kind of like a gentle giant in a way. Of course, not just because of his height, because he's someone so capable, so skilled. You guys saw he made a whole EP by himself, and he made the animation for his music video. But he's also so humble and so gentle. It's kind of like a very comforting presence, I think.
And Gincha's just so good at like making music. Did you guys see the EP? Did you see the the music video? やばいよあれ。すごいよ。ぜひ見てください。
I think another thing to mention about him is he makes me laugh the most, sometimes just with the way that he delivers things. For example, a really recent one that's been killing me is it actually relates to Finana Senpai. It's gonna sound so ridiculous, but there was this moment when we were talking as a group when I don't remember what the context was exactly, but we were gonna mention everybody in debut order as a joke. It was kind of like a name every Nijisanji liver kind of joke, you know what I mean? And so someone else said Illyria first, and then I was like, how do I describe this? Sometimes I'll purposefully misspell things because I think it's funny. I'll just like let my hands type without my brain intervening. So what I typed was, I spelled it like this. It was like, okay, I spelled it like this, and nobody responded immediately. But you know what he said? He did a voice message, and he said,
Sinana na Ragugu?
it cracks me up so bad. It's so stupid. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It got me so bad. He's the funniest person in the world to me.
They're so nice. They're so cool. We're on like the same wavelength. We're just, oh, I feel like we've got such a good like group mindset. There'll be times where one of us will kind of hold back an idea, right? And they'll be like, now you guys can turn it down because, you know, it's kind of a big thing or whatever. And, you know, but I was thinking that'd be cool if we did this. And every single time that happens, every single time one of us brings up an idea like that, we all agree. We're all like, oh, I'm glad you said it because I thought that'd be so cool. Oh, I want to do a music relay so bad. You know? I want all of us to have matching 4 koma, 4 koma, so bad. Stuff like that. We really are all just, we're on the same wavelength, and I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so happy and excited to see what we can do in the future.
But even outside of that, you guys, everyone is just so kind and caring, and you know, I feel like I really have found like such a, like, I don't want to say like soulmates, but it just feels like genuinely like I feel so blessed. Yeah. I'm so vague. I know I'm so vague. I don't want to like say too much and stuff because then they're gonna like tease me. Maybe they might tease me about this, but I just think they're so amazing. ありがとう。なんかかっこいいも嬉しい。